own style. But you've caused me enough trouble. Now you face the Shredder.
Alright. Welcome to Sideboard MTG. I'm Eric, and you're watching YouTube Gaming. We've got a Golgari Zombies deck for you guys today. This one's by Kenneth from chat. I call him Kdog, but Kenneth Holbrook? Man, I always butcher that name. I'm sorry, Kenneth. Either way, hope you guys like today's deck. If you do, then give it that thumbs up. And if you like the content in general, as always, subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot more coming for you guys. We've got a Devs deck coming up later tonight. And again, if you guys want to play these cards online on Magic Online, don't forget that you can use ManaTraders, their rental service. You pay a flat rate and you can play with all the cards in standard, modern, legacy, or even vintage. They also rent in paper, so check them out in the link in the description box below. And if you do decide to sign up, don't forget to use Sideboard MTG White for this month's coupon. It'll save you 15% on your first 3 months with ManaTraders. What's up, everyone? We're back. Got a fresh cup of coffee. Here we go. Fresh cup of coffee, and we got a pretty fresh deck here. So here we go. Where's Madness? He's probably here. He was here earlier. I'm sure he's here. So yeah. Let's talk about Kenneth's deck here. First off, I just want to point out we've got a couple copies of Detection Tower. I think the card's really good. I haven't seen a lot of people playing with it, and I'm excited to see it in this deck. Maybe we'll run into a situation where it's useful. Personally, I'm hoping that we don't. I would rather just not have it be a useful card. Also, thinking of the cards that actually have hexproof, I think that our Death Baron will deal with most of those. I mean, you can always, just throw a Stitcher supplier that has Death Touch in front of something like a Nullhide Ferox or something of that nature, and deal with it there. Now, against something like Vinemayer, though, we do not have a blocker for Vinemayer, so Detection Tower will probably be a must. For that reason, if any other reason, I do like having a couple Detection Towers in this deck. It's also a 2-color deck. Technically, it's like mono black splashed green, as every card in the deck is technically black. So, I mean, there's some green-black cards, but we only need a slight splash of green. Those green-black cards are Assassin's Trophy, Rhizome Lurcher, and Underrealm Lich. I'm actually really excited to play with this card. This is the first deck that I've gotten a chance to actually play with Underrealm Lich. So I'm hoping that we can get this down. We can have some fun with this. And yeah, there we go. Now, we've also got a copy of Fine Finale here, which will allow us to grab some cards from the graveyard. If you guys actually aren't familiar with Underrealm Lich, let me read this guy for you. It is 1 green, 1 black, and 3 colorless for a 4/3. So it doesn't really pass the vanilla test, but you can always pay 4 life and give it indestructible, but you have to tap it. So pay 4 life for regenerate, okay, that's fine. Now, you can declare block, then pay the 4 life. If you're used to using a Danto Vanguard, you're probably okay with giving this indestructible because it's got a really cool effect. And that effect is, if you would draw a card, instead look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 into your hand, and the rest into your graveyard. That is a pretty sweet ability. There are not a lot of cards that have been printed that have abilities that quite that good. I mean, that's a really, really sweet ability. So, I mean, every time that we would draw a card, we're going to get to look at the top 3, pick from the top 3. We do mill the other 2, but you'll see with this deck that that's kind of what we're kind of wanting to do anyway. So let's go to the beginning of the curve and take a look at what we have here. We have Stitcher Supplier to help throw some cards in the graveyard. 1 mana, 1/1, but when it enters the battlefield, we're going to mill the top 3, and then when it dies, we're going to mill the top 3. So if they don't exile this, we will get to put 6 cards in the graveyard here. So We've also got some Diregraph Ghouls. Now, it enters the battlefield tapped, but it's a 1 mana 2/2. So since it doesn't really have haste, this is a perfect turn 1. Allows you to push some real good tempo. Allows you to really start pushing damage on your opponent early. And we then on the 2-drop, we've got our zombie soldier here, Graveyard Marshal. Now, Graveyard Marshal is really, really good. It's a 2 mana 3/2, so passing the vanilla test already, but also has a great line of text on it. It pay 1 black and 2 colorless, exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. That's perfect for exactly what this deck's wanting to do. Because we have cards like Death Baron, which is double black and 1 colorless for a 2/2. Not really passing the test there, but skeletons and other skeletons you control and other zombies you control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. So that's one heck of a zombie wizard right there. I like the Death Baron. I think that this card works great with cards like Stitcher Supplier and Diregraph Ghoul. Even Graveyard Marshal, if they want to block it, they are going to trade if you have a Death Baron on the battlefield. Now, our Zombie Knight is pretty cool as well. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, our Midnight Reaper here will deal 1 damage to us, and we're going to draw a card. Now, that's your classic black way of drawing cards. If you're used to playing black, then you're used to drawing cards and taking a little bit of life for them. So moving on up the curve, we've got another Zombie Knight that creates more Zombie Knights. So we've got Joshua Vess here, Lich Knight, another Lich. Those Liches, they're powerful, right? This is a 4/5 with Menace, passing the vanilla test with flying colors here. Has a kicker ability that if you do kick it, now that does cost quite a bit of mana. So we're looking at 10 mana to be able to play this and kick it. But it's going to enter the battlefield. If it was kicked, create 8 2/2 black Zombie Knight creature tokens with Menace. I do want to do the math for you guys here. 8 times 2 is 16, plus hitting with the Joshua Vess is 20 points of life. So if you can kick this, you're technically pushing lethal the very next turn. Now that is late in the game, but it could happen. Now we've got Liliana Untouched by Death here. Now most of the time we're probably going to just be playing Liliana and plussing her and then hoping that we get a chance to untap. And if we do untap, we're going to be able to do some pretty sweet things. Let's read her abilities. Put the top 3 cards of our library into the graveyard. If at least one of them is a zombie card, each opponent's going to lose 2 life, and we're going to gain 2 life. Then, if we do the -2 loyalty on her, target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of zombies you control. So another really good way to do some damage here. Clearing the board, things of that nature. We're going to have some zombies if all is going well. And then you may cast zombie cards from your graveyard this turn for -3. Now this is one of those planeswalkers that can ultimate the turn they come down. So if we do +1 her, and then untap with her, we -3 her, she'll be at 2, and then we just start casting zombies from the graveyard. It's going to be really sweet. I'm hoping that all goes well here. And then, of course, if we move on up the curve a little bit, we've got a card that we ran into last game. If you guys watched the Grixis Control games, we ran into Gruesome Menagerie. Now, Gruesome Menagerie is a 5 mana card here, so double black and 3 for a sorcery speed. Choose target creature card with converted mana cost 1 in your graveyard. Then do the same for creature cards with converted mana cost 2 and 3. Return those cards to the battlefield. So this is a 5 mana. Get 3 cards back from your graveyard. Looks super sweet. So, yeah. Kick Joshua Vess earlier out of the grave. That is pretty sweet. So, use Liliana's neg ability. You have 10 mana. Play Joshua Vess with the kicker out of the graveyard. Bam, 20 power on the battlefield. You've also got, 9 zombies. There's nothing that you can't kill the following turn to clear the board. That's pretty sweet. I mean, okay, so maybe you kill Carnage Tyrant, but, they've all got Menace, right? Did you guys notice that? Joshua Vess, when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, create 8 2/2 black zombie knights. Not just 2/2 zombies. Zombie knights. And zombie knights have Menace. That's pretty cool. I like it. We've also got Vanquisher's Banner, so that if we get this down, it's another Anthem, and every time we cast a zombie, and if you guys didn't notice, we got a lot of zombies, you know what I mean? Vanquisher's Banner is just going to help draw more cards. More cards, more cards. So that's going to work really sweet. And then we've already talked about the Underrealm Lich. Fine Finale being a great card here, helping us get back Death Barons, get back, Midnight Reapers, pretty much anything that we might want from the graveyard. Maybe we just want an Underrealm Lich back or something like that. So we can get those creature cards back with Fine, and then as far as Finale goes, we can give one of our creatures +2, or 2 +1/1 counters, and then we get to wipe the board for -4/-4. So nice little languish there for 6 mana, and we could possibly live through it. So let's take a look at the sideboard here. In the sideboard, we've got 4 copies of Duress, which, against control decks, this is going to be exactly what we're looking for. Also against control decks, we were going to be wanting to use our life total for as much as we can. It is a resource. We want to use it as much as we can. And then Argyle's Bloodfast is just kind of perfect for that. Argyle's Bloodfast allowing us to, continue drawing cards. It's going to be absolutely great. The draw triggers the Lich are, yes, the draw triggers on Lich are going to be insane gas. Absolutely insane. So we've also got cards like Never Happened. Now this is a 3 mana. We do get to, target opponent reveals their hand. We choose a non-land card from it, and then they're going to exile that card. Will not go to the graveyard. Will get exiled. So yeah. And then of course we've got Ritual of Soot to wipe the board of the small creatures and things like that. Yes, this does kill most of the things in our deck, but we're zombies. They're coming back. We're going to get those cards again at some point. And then Vraska's Contempt to deal with the hard-to-deal-with creatures and planeswalkers. And Eldest Reborn for pretty much the same thing. And then, of course, if you do run into, Lyras, things of that nature, you're going to want some Vivian Reeds. Her ability to, shoot down flyers is unmatched right now in the format. It is absolutely perfect. It is exactly what you want for. Take out an Assassin's Trophy for another Soot. I don't know if we got another Soot. There we go. Ocarina. If I would have had to go get a, if I had to go rent that, man, we would not have been playing with that. Yeah. Ocarina Assassin. Now, this is one I'm not used to playing with, but all creatures able to block Ocarina Assassin do so. And it's got Death Touch. So it is an elf assassin. We're not going to be giving this +1 or anything like that. But this works really, really well for that alpha swing. When you're getting ready to swing in, kill your opponent, if the assassin's swinging in, all creatures have to block the assassin. You get to pick which creature you want to die, and then that's it. So is Eldest Reborn or Plague Crafter better in most situations? They do a lot of the same thing. Ocarina for Soot. Oh, take out the Ocarina Assassin for Soot. Leave in Assassin's Trophy. Okay, I thought you meant Assassin's Trophy. My bad. Okay. So we should be good to go. Let's get some shout outs here. Jared just subscribed. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate that. Thank you for subscribing, sir. Logical order, man, it's hard to say. Let's pull up Plague Crafter here. Plague Crafter is pretty sweet card. It is a human shaman. When Plague Crafter enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Each player who can't discards a card. So it's never really going to be dead. If they kill it with the trigger on the stack and you don't have anything else down, you may have to discard a card. So, I mean, it's great. It's a great card. This is a great card. It's getting a lot of play. It's probably one of the best uncommons in the set. I really like Plague Crafter. But as far as it being, better or worse than Eldest Reborn, I think they work really well together, but Eldest Reborn is just so much power because you're able to get these creatures back from the graveyard. You're able to get the most powerful thing from the graveyard back. Ani Freak 1. Thank you for subscribing. You're running it over Eldest. Eldest does cost 5 mana, and Plaguecrafter only costs 3. So I mean, you're looking at playing it at a much different turn in the game. Eldest Reborn's coming after something like a Ritual of Soot, which can possibly be exactly what you want to do. If you've got ways to recur your Plaguecrafters and stuff from the graveyard, like fine brokers and stuff like that, I think that Plaguecrafter's fine, but I still wouldn't give up on the Eldest Reborn, because I think that Eldest Reborn and Fine Broker work so good. It's just amazing that the synergy there is just terrific. Because what you'll do is, when Eldest Reborn goes off for its third lore counter, the ability will resolve, and then Eldest Reborn will go to the graveyard before priority is passed to the next ability. Now, you can go ahead and select Golgari Fine Broker, bring that Golgari Fine Broker back to the battlefield, and Eldest Reborn will go to the battlefield, and Fine Broker will trigger. When it triggers, you can grab the Eldest Reborn and just kind of keep going. So that's pretty sweet. Are we playing? I don't think we're playing Memorial to Folly. No. I don't think there's any Memorial to Folly. No Memorial to Folly here. It's possible that Memorial to Folly should end up in the deck as a one-of, but there's no Memorial to Folly here. No Cabal, Stronghold, nothing like that. We've got good ways to bring things back from the graveyard with Liliana and such. So that's the deck, guys. Let's get into some games, shall we? All right, a junior. Oh, somebody took the game. It's not showing Blueburger there. Alright, well, that's fine. Yes, it can also grab stuff out of your opponent's graveyard, which, if you watched our last games with the Grixis control deck, it was pretty good. What's up, Ralph? Raphael? Is that right? Lanithor. That's pretty cool. I like that name, Lanithor. All right, so we've got the play. We're gonna take the play. Let's fix this. Let's fix this white chat before the horde shows up and gets on to me. Not the greatest hand in the world. It's just not. It's not a very aggressive hand. We're not coming out of the gate fast. We're not really doing a lot. I'm going to mulligan. Oh, damn. We're going to start out like this. Lanithor, it's Riker. What's up, dude? How are you? Okay, so this is a great hand. I'm going to keep it. Do we keep the Stitcher Supplier? I think no. I think we just dump the Stitcher Supplier. And then, I mean, because we've got a turn 1 and a turn 2. I want to hit a land at some point, so. Kenneth's going to help me play this. We played James's deck last turn, and he tried to help me play every turn, so. Been running that PTQ Golgari list and loving it. Yeah, that seems like a list that you would like. Alright, so we milled an Assassin's Trophy, we milled a Graveyard Marshal, and we milled a Woodland Cemetery. All cards I wouldn't mind getting, but we kind of need some land at some point here. So another Joshu Vess. Alright, well, I mean, we can get in for one. Send a message there, Stitcher. Still learning how to play it yourself? You don't like that 2/2 4-drop every time you play it. It gets shocked with the trigger on the stack. 2/2 4-drop. Which 2/2 4-drop? Drover of the Mighty. So we've got a Sultai deck here. I mean, we get to get in for some damage next turn. I don't expect him to block. So, I mean, we hit for 4. The Golgari one. Okay. Um, you're talking about like the Rhizome Lurcher or whatever? Maybe that's what it is. Man, a land would be so sweet. Okay, well, I mean, I did mulligan to 5, so yeah, Rhizome Lurcher, it's okay. Is there Creeping Chill in the deck? No, there's not. Sorry. No Creeping Chill. Well, the opponent is just going to draw some cards while discarded Galta. Alright. Come on, land off the top. He knows he's not blocking. He's going to go ahead and take the chance to do a point of damage. Land. Got there. Awesome. We're going to do this before combat so we can hit for an additional 2 points of damage. And then maybe we'll just kind of get ahead of the opponent here. Now, the opponent needs to answer this Death Baron because at this point we're doing work. We're definitely doing some work here. We can also use Graveyard Marshal to eat another Graveyard Marshal out of the graveyard, and that's going to be pretty sweet too. So, Connive, wow, opponent. He plays his own Stitcher Supplier, which now has Death Touch. Well, isn't that a thing? We do get a land. However, I think I want to get some value out of this Graveyard Marshal. So we're going to go ahead and swing. I assume he blocks with his Stitcher Supplier. I'm going to activate Graveyard Marshal. We will remove our other Graveyard Marshal from the graveyard and make a 2/2 zombie. So we're getting a good look at the opponent's deck here. So let me pull that up so you guys can see what's currently in the graveyard. He's got 3 Stitcher Suppliers. He's got some Connive Concoct. He's got Discovery, Dispersal. Here he's going to bring something back from the graveyard. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. I assume he's targeting... He's probably going to be targeting a Galta? Ouch. Ouch. Wow, that's a good, cool way to get Galta onto the battlefield. All right, well, this is going to be quite interesting. All right, so there's an Overgrown Tomb. We do not need that untapped. I am just going to play Joshu Vest. We're just casting Joshu. And I think we passed the turn here. Man, concocting back a Galta seems like it's the real deal. And then he concocts again. Wow. Wow, opponent. This is a very interesting take on... oh, wow, now he gets to get back a Carnage Tyrant. I've seen enough. I think I get the idea of how his deck works. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, he's playing... he's playing this deck that just kind of mills some really big dinosaurs into the graveyard. He can cast Joshu. Right. I'm going to Joshu. Anyway, yeah, wow. I mean, he's just throwing some really big dudes in the graveyard, bringing them back with Connive concoct. That seems pretty sweet. So what do we want to answer that? Cards like Duress, cards like Never Happened. These are probably going to be very good. Vraska's Contempt will probably be very good. So let's look at what we might want to take out. I don't think we need the Rhizome Lurcher. I want to be aggressive, but I don't know exactly where we go with this. I think we're wanting to be, to win in the early game, so I don't think we have time for Vanquisher's Banner, which also makes me think that we don't have time for Underrealm Lich, which that's bothersome that we're not going to be able to get to Underrealm Lich, so I am going to take that out. I'm also going to take out the Gruesome Menagerie. I know that seems very bad. I think we have to win this game in the early turns. We need to save as many spots as we can for some removal. So I'm going to play good cheap creatures, and we're going to try to rip his hand apart. We need to take the concocts out of his hand, things like that. So I'm going to go with the disruption package here. Joshu. Yeah, let's say we don't want one Joshu and we don't want one Liliana. And then we just play a very aggressive deck on the play. Now, on the draw, we might change this up and go a different route. So, let's try this anyway. Yeah, it's a sorcery for 5 mana. No, it's not instant. Oh, that would be broken. Oh, goodness. This is not the fast hand that I was wanting to see. However, this hand does have some removal for something large like a Galta. So I will keep it. And we can get into, Midnight Reaper and Death Baron. So let's go ahead and play our Midnight Reaper here. And pass the turn. Now, as far as I remember, the Connive part can only take creatures with converted mana cost 2 or less. So maybe we actually did well here by not playing, I don't know, was it more than 2 or? I mean, he took, what, Death Baron last time? So, look, he happened to throw away a Galta yet again off the top of his deck. There's a moment of craving. We will get a trigger for a land, so we don't have to take life for our Overgrown Tomb. And, I mean, our opponent could be looking at just slamming a Galta here. I'm going to play Joshu Vest. So if he does, next turn, play Galta, then we'll just smack him for 4 and deal with Galta. So, yeah. Oh no, that's right. Yeah, Big E's never going to be in the graveyard. But once you surveil, you won't get Big E's trigger. Like, you would have to surveil 3. You would have to know Emrakul was in the top 3. Rise from the grave. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That creature is a black zombie. In addition to it, what the hell? That's another way. Rise from the grave, also bringing back Galta. Wow, another 5 mana, just bam. Are there that many recursion spells in Standard right now? Opponent, I am loving your deck. This deck is awesome. So if I Assassin's Trophy, we just put Galta back in the graveyard. I'm just going to play this tapped. We'll go ahead and get into combat. Galta can't block it. We do have Menace. We'll wait for him to figure it out. Yep, there we go. I don't want him to untap before I do this, so I'm just going to go ahead and exile Galta now. So he's got Galtas and Carnage Tyrants that he's just cheating back to the battlefield. That's so good. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. The opponent's got a sweet deck. And then there's a Carnage Tyrant. Okay, well, this will work fairly decently for us. I mean, we can go Death Baron, Midnight Reaper, and swing for. Okay. So he could pay 4 mana and just take our Death Baron, and then we don't have Death Touch anymore. Hey, look, it's a Galta. Feels bad, doesn't it? Like just putting this back in his graveyard. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sure, we'll take 7. He clearly doesn't care that it goes to the graveyard. So, Detection Tower. That seems pretty sweet. Alright, so let's play Liliana. I will uptick Liliana here. And we put Duress and Assassin's Trophy in the grave. We're now going to Assassin's Trophy the Galta. The opponent will get a land. And then I swing for 5 that he can't block. I mean, we're basically just racing a Galta here. Or racing Carnage Tyrant. So we'll see what the opponent has. Assassin's Trophy on our Death Touch guy. We will get to draw a card here, though. And get a land. Vraska's Contempt. This could be what we're needing. Glowspore Shaman. So he's going to mill some more cards. So he mills a Discovery Dispersal. He mills a Ritual of Soot and a Carnage Tyrant. Does he swing at Liliana or does he swing at us? At Liliana. Okay, so unfortunately, blocking here still doesn't save Liliana. Liliana just saves us a little bit of damage. 7 points is a little bit, right? Just 7 points of damage. It's nothing, right? Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cast down. And, I mean, we're just racing here. The opponent's got 1 card left in hand, and we're just on the race. So, he has to remove something from the battlefield. 1 blocker does not do it. As he needs at least 2 blockers on the battlefield because he has to be able to block this with Menace. So, yeah, we won by racing right there. I could have used Detection Tower to remove the Hexproof, dealt with the Carnage Tyrant, but I just don't think that was the route to take. Now, on the draw, I think the opponent will... Like, what do we really think the opponent's going to do here? Kind of like the configuration we have right now. Fine Finale's probably not going to do a ton for us, so I'm going to bring an Underrealm Lich back in. It may be better... No, you know what? Let's bring in Eldest Reborn and leave that. Let's go with that. Yeah, let's go with Eldest Reborn. So you don't understand how Concoct works. Okay, so Concoct says Surveil 3, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. I may not say target. It just may say return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So, wow. What a bad hand, but it could be amazing. If we just drew like back-to-back lands for 3 turns in a row, it would be great. I don't think we can keep a one-lander as much as I want to. So we scry any lands to the bottom. We put that on top. And we've got a good start. We don't have green mana for this Assassin's Trophy, but... So, Diregraph Ghoul, go. So the next time he casts Concoct, I'll pull it up and we'll look at it, Mason. But you're going to surveil first, then you're going to put a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. I think the reason it's not worded with the target is because to put an ability on the stack, you actually have to give a target. So, oh no, I'm not casting that. I want to cast Graveyard Marshal. And we'll swing at his 1/1 for 2. So to put a targeted ability on the stack, you actually have to go ahead and target. So I think that's the reason it's worded without the word target in it. So yeah. So what lets Emrakul shuffle before he returns to the battlefield? Okay, so Emrakul, like once you start resolving an ability, you have to finish resolving the entire ability before you can actually... One moment. Maybe I should have brought the tomb in untapped or tapped here. Once you start resolving an ability, you have to continue resolving that ability. Like, you can't stop midway through, whether there's a period or a pause or anything. The only way you would actually be able to get Emrakul back is Emrakul would have to be on the top 3 cards of your library. So you would resolve the Surveil 3, dump Emrakul from the top of your library into your graveyard, and then from there you would return him from the graveyard to the battlefield. Now, you wouldn't get the cast trigger, but you would get a Emrakul. So, I mean, that's a thing. We got rid of Forest Swamp Eldest Reborn. I'm kind of okay with that. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna smush for 5. No, the other side of the card says for 4 mana you gain control of target creature that's like 4 converted mana cost or less or something like that. So, yeah. Those of you that have not hit the subscribe button yet, you might want to do that because we got some devs decks coming up later tonight. Immediately after this stream, we're going to start with another devs deck. I'm going to go ahead and bring this in. Tapped. And we're going to smush again. Ooh, he's got things to do. Assassin's Trophy. Well, thank you, opponent. There's a forest I need to go get. I mean, I doubt I really need that forest. I mean, come on, let's be honest here. We only need like 1 green source. You know, whatever. that couldn't have been the best feeling for him. Okay, so I probably punted right there. If I would have Stitchered Supplier before combat, we might have had a creature in the graveyard to actually use the 3-mana ability to pull back a creature with a Graveyard Marshal. So maybe that was a little bit of a punt, but you know. Yeah, we've got, you put Dev's Selesnya token deck together. Well, that's actually a pretty sweet deck too. We're going to be playing that either tonight or tomorrow as well. I wanted to do a double Devs deck, but kind of got behind on some other decks and things like that, so I wanted to go ahead and get these decks out. We're going to be doing Dev's Boros midrange tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to do Dev's Selesnya tokens. So if you guys are wanting to see gameplay of Selesnya tokens, then we're going to be doing that. Yep, we would have milled a Josh Uves, and we would have been able to have another 2/2 zombie here. So alright, so this looks like a concoct here. Nope, just straight up Carnage Tyrant. Alright, well, I mean, I like the idea of killing Carnage Tyrant. I've been sandbagging this. You guys know what sandbagging is? Holding on to something so your opponent doesn't know you have it, right? So yeah. We'll smash in for another 4 here. I mean, I said it. I said I wanted to see a game where we could actually use this. So here we go. We just targeted a Carnage Tyrant. Ain't we special? It's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty good. We've already listened to this song. We started this stream with this song. Let's pick a different song. Where's that new The Metal Slide of Lance Pokemon song? There we go. Feels so good. Yeah, turning a Carnage Tyrant into a land, giving him a target for his concoct. It doesn't feel horrible. Wow. We're about to be able to kill Drover the Mighty here. No, we're not going to pay for that. I will, however, pay for Death Baron before combat. And this should be pretty sweet, because this means our Stitcher suppliers kill the Drover. So yeah, he's chumping. He's just stopping the maximum amount of damage here. That's a really good sign for us. Not complaining. Does anyone else never hear the music? Maybe you don't have me turned up. You know what? Actually, I got the music down quite low. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. You guys let me know if the music's too loud. So I did have it turned down quite low, so. There we go. Alright, so here's the card. Concoct. Surveil 3, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So he's going to look at the top 3 cards of his library. He can choose to put any of them in the graveyard or leave them on top of his library, any order. And then he can, then he will return a creature card from his graveyard to the battlefield. So we're going to get a Carnage Tyrant back from him here. And unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be enough for him. So he got rid of Watery Grave, and left something on top. However, that's going to be the game, and he's going to scoop it up. We did win that game, but man, wasn't that a cool deck that we were playing against? Like, just a great idea, man. That was great. I want to take this point to say, if you guys want to get a deck tech and gameplay like this, you can do that. We do donation bonuses like many other streamers. So if you do donate $20 or more, you'll get a deck tech and at least one game where your deck goes off. Sometimes I enjoy the decks and I just play another game like we're about to do right now. So and if you do $50 or more, you'll get an entire league with your deck. So if you want to purchase a YouTube video. They're for sale. Right? Somebody gotta make a living, right? Okay, so, man, this deck's pretty sweet, man. I like it. I like what you got going on here. So let's jump into another game. You're looking for the Bajuka Bog standard. So Bajuka Bog comes into the battlefield and gets rid of the graveyard, right? There's a lot of cards that do that. Yeah, Phyrexian Scriptures is great. Absolutely. Phyrexian Scriptures is a terrific card. A lot of people underestimate Phyrexian Scriptures, but that card is great. Right. Phyrexian Scriptures does that. It'll exile just your opponent's graveyard. This is a horrible hand. I'm going to mulligan. This is much, much better. So Phyrexian Scriptures puts a 1/1 counter on probably what you're looking for. Let's get aggressive. Probably what you're looking for if you're just wanting to wipe their graveyard and not all the graveyards. So I use it in my Sultai Muldrotha deck. With Muldrotha, it's a permanent. You can keep bringing it back and things of that nature. It's pretty sweet. So. Oh! Man, that's shitty. I don't want him to Jade Light next turn and just get a bunch of mana. So we could go Diregraph Ghoul, Stitcher Supplier, or we could go Assassin's Trophy. If we Assassin's Trophy now, we hit for 2. If we Assassin's Trophy on his turn, we ensure that he only plays a 3-drop, not a 4-drop. Let's do 2 points of damage. It's loud now. I can't please everyone. I just can't do it. Like, not all of you have your volume levels at the same point. Some of you have me turned completely up, and that way you can hear some music. Some of you have me turned down, and I'm not going to fight it. We got people that don't think it's loud, so... Right, it's 3 or 6 life they won't gain. My thinking was I could do it with the trigger on the stack, and he wouldn't be able to play a 4-drop, which now he can play like a Fine Broker or something like that, but Brontodon's okay. Not exactly what we want, so I assume we just use this turn setting up. Land is not bad. So let's go Stitcher Supplier, Diregraph Ghoul, pass. We threw away a Death Baron, which is horrible, and a Rhizome Lurcher, but, you know, that's fine. I'm loud as hell, but there's no music. You'll let it go. My bad, dude. I'm sorry. Ronald, thank you for subscribing, Ronald. Welcome to the channel. We're currently playing some Golgari Zombies, and having a lot of fun. We just got through playing some Grixis Control. That video is up for those of you that want to check that out. And after this, we're going to be playing Dev's Boros Midrange. So if you're a fan of SBMTG, the guy on the couch with his cat Ziggy, he's got other cats too, but Ziggy's one that's always there. Ziggy loves the camera. So yeah, we're going to be playing some... Alright, well, this is a perfect time to go ahead and start doing some swinging. I mean, trading these cards for more cards seems like it's the way to go. I mean, if he blocks here, we draw a card. I mean, yes, we lose life, but we draw a card. And it's another land, which means we're going to get into our Underrealm Lich, which could be amazing. Need more burn. Yes. Yes, burn would be nice. Burn is always nice. That's a Vraska Relic Seeker. I assume she'll be doing things to our Midnight Reaper. Wow. There we go. Bye-bye Midnight Reaper. We did get to draw a card. We did lose a life there, but we did get to draw a card. So I'm going to cast Underrealm Lich. And then I'm going to swing at Vraska and lose my Diregraph Ghoul. But what that'll do is that'll mean that he can't use Vraska to downtick on my Underrealm Lich. So, so we are going to at least hit Vraska for 1 point here. I assume that he just blocks the 2 points and, you know, there we go. You have a hollow one? What? You mean a foil? A hollow one is a 4-mana artifact that says if you've discarded, maybe it's a 5-mana artifact. Yeah, they're foils. We play Magic the Gathering. Yes, he meant foil. Nope, hollow. That's Rush. Downtick, pay 4 life. Right, that's right. We can always pay 4 life. Yeah. So if he goes to remove it, we will just do that. I still don't think it was bad to put this here. So, Fine Broker, going to get back the Wild Growth Walker, and then that'll hit the battlefield. We need a card like Ritual of Soot against this deck. I don't think we get bigger than this deck, but may have to. We're in the Golgari versus Golgari matchup here. Alright, what do we want? Probably that Vanquisher's Banner. So I'm going to take Vanquisher's Banner. We'll play land. We're going to play Vanquisher's Banner. Make everything get a little bit bigger. And then we're going to play our Diregraph Ghoul and go ahead and get a little bit of value off this Vanquisher Banner right now before Vraska can do bad things to it. I definitely want that Liliana. And then, isn't that sweet? Isn't that just such a sweet interaction? I think I'll just pass. And then we're definitely going to have to get into just more things. So if he doesn't destroy the Vanquisher's Banner, he did not destroy the Vanquisher's Banner. We're about to mill our whole deck out here, I think. I mean, he's gaining life. This is going to be hard to get ahead of. We'll definitely need Ritual of Soot. Was this purposely confusing? That's just Rush, man. He confuses me all the time. Well, if you didn't sacrifice a creature, throwing all those flings don't do any damage, sir. Okay. So, what do we want here? Graveyard Marshal, maybe? Let's, play Liliana. Uptick Liliana. Draw a card. We get another Vanquisher's Banner. Or we can get a Fine Finale. A Midnight Reaper. I think I'm just going to take another Vanquisher's Banner. Because I expect that eventually this Thrashing Brontodon is going to destroy our current one. What? The beginning of the set, I changed all of those guys. Fling's not a current card. Come on. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I did not... one moment. My bad. That was right in everyone's ear. I am so sorry for that. I normally mute before I call for other... Yeah. Alright, so... He removed our Death Baron. Or our Graveyard Marshal. Does he attack Liliana here? Everything's at Lily? Okay. Even Brontodon. Alright, so I'm only going to take the things I can kill. So, if we block here and then... Well, he wouldn't be able to do it after combat. So, let's go to blocks. We'll block Jade Light Ranger here. We'll block this guy here. And we'll block this guy here. Liliana goes to 1. So we set up to block in such a way that we knew he was going to destroy the artifact, so it's fine. Eldest Reborn opponent. That's not nice. Bye, Lily. I don't think Lily would have lasted much longer anyway, so we'll just get rid of the Liliana. Death Baron. Death Baron's not a bad card here. I think it's what I want. So we're going to go ahead and cast Death Baron. We don't have a lot of options here. We really don't. This Vraska is eventually going to, get ahead of us. We're going to lose our Vanquisher's Banner. This is what Golgari does, or the current standard Golgari. This is what this deck does. I mean, it just outvalues you. So, smash that like button, right? Or I'll thud my fist in your faces. Thank you, Rush. Yes, smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Plus, subscribing helps kill the stream boss up there. And if you're the last person to damage the stream boss, your name will go up there. Or you could just donate, right? Shameless pitch. I'll take 4. Oh, come on. We need something sweet off the top. Graveyard Marshal's not bad. It gives us some more attackers, blockers, that sort of thing. I haven't been taking lands, which is technically bad. Naturally, you'll just draw lands over time and stuff, so... did Eric just turn into Macho Man for a second? Oh, yeah! Nah. that's some old stuff right there. Randy Savage. Good old Randy Savage. What do we take here? I don't think Liliana is actually the right answer, but I'm going to play it. I'm going to neg 3 Liliana and play a couple 1-drops from my library here. So we're looking for 1-drops that can block. We could play a 2-drop like a Graveyard Marshal. Maybe that's what we do. I mean, we could just Stitcher Supplier as well. I mean, we're looking at milling ourselves if we do this, though. So let's go Graveyard Marshal. And I'm going to start swinging. I mean, if he puts the Wildgrowth Walker in front of it, the Wildgrowth dies. Lily's pretty much going to die anyway. So he's just going to keep chump blocking. Yeah, we're going to mill ourselves here. About to snap into a Slim Jim. Oh man, I forgot about that. I forgot he did those Slim Jims commercials. He also was like Red Fox too. Elizabeth, Miss Elizabeth. That's right. I grew up watching some wrestling. Yep. Sorry, wrestling. Fight the stereotype. Fight the stereotype. Yeah. This is getting out of hand. It's just really hard to beat the value that this Golgari deck provides. So, we'll see though. Ritual of Soot will be decent. The opponent is in no hurry to kill me here. He just wants to kill Liliana. So, yeah, like trying to pull relevant cards kind of mean we were stuck at 6 mana, because ever since I've been just pulling relevant cards and we've just never continued to go up on land. So that's something you might want to think about. Underrealm Lich will help keep giving you more of what you really need, but it's also going to kind of... I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not doing the Nature Boy Ric Flair there. Green-Black Explorer. I know this looks like Green-Black Explorer. There are Green-Black Explorer decks, but this is the Golgari Vraska deck, the Explorer deck, Wildgrowth Walker deck. You can call it whatever you want, but this is a tier 1 deck right now, man. This is like probably the best deck in the format. Is this Golgari Finebroker Vraska deck. He's got the 4 mana Vraskas, he's got the 6 mana Vraskas, he's got Finebrokers, all of the good things. Sure. Just hit them all. I'm just gonna mill myself. Like, I don't think we win this game anyway. So, I just think this will be fun. At this point, I would just normally scoop, but I'm not going to. So, let's go another Stitcher Supplier. Here we go. We've got 8 cards left in the library. Computers are bad at RNG. Yeah, every RNG based game I've ever seen. Well, games are just based off of RNG, right? What'd you kill him? You killed my Death Baron. Come on, opponent. And then he killed my Joshua Vest. He may just be able to go for lethal right here. He has down-ticked her 4 times. This is a bad play. All right. Sorry, can't do that. Um, I'm literally just trying to mill myself at this point, and then we're going to go to game 2. So we may not be able to mill ourselves with Underrealm Lich on the top, or on in our battle or on the battlefield. As long as Underrealm Lich is here, we literally may not be able to mill ourselves, because we're not going to draw a card. And to die from mill, it says that when you would draw a card and there are no cards left in your library, you lose the game. So we don't actually draw cards with Underrealm Lich. Just saying. If we would draw a card, instead look at the top 3 cards of our library. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and remove it, and now we will mill ourselves. So, but you can't actually mill yourself with an Underrealm Lich on the battlefield. And he's going to go ahead and punch us for lethal. Punchy, punchy. Good job, opponent. Good job. I could pay 16 life to Lich. Yeah, I could have done that. I could have. Right. So many things we could have done to die there. Alright. So, against this deck, we almost want our entire sideboard. So, Fine Finale, Vanquisher's Banner, Gruesome Menagerie, Lurcher, Liliana. Alright, so I'm looking at Duress, Ritual of Soot, Vraska's Contempt, Eldest Reborn. So we need to get rid of 2 more cards. Let's say Stitcher Supplier, Stitcher Supplier. Like, we want to be aggressive, so maybe we bring in Never Happened. It does exile the card. It doesn't just throw it in the graveyard. So, I don't think so though. I don't like Never Happened. I don't like the card. Okay, here we go. By the way, what game is this? Might go after it's done. This is the last game that we're going to be playing. This is game 2. If we win this, we got to play another one. But I keep it because of the Ritual of Soot. Yeah, this is game 2. Are Still Leaf decks worth playing anymore? No. That's debatable. Everyone says yes, but I say no. I say the mono green Stompy and variants are really bad. I do think that if you want to play that type of deck, you really need to splash blue in it for dive down. I think that Blossoming Defense was one of the biggest things that those decks lost, and yeah, that's just my opinion on it. So, like, some people think that, you know, mono green is still an amazing deck. I just personally don't. All right, well, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. I mean, we do not have the cards to follow up here. So I think we have to hang on to this Ritual of Soot for quite some time. So I was calling for it in that deck. If you're going to play that deck, I think that deck deserved Ritual of Soot. I think that deck needed that over Dev's Champion. Dev's Champion. Dev's Champion. I don't think that Dev's Champion was better than Still Leaf in that deck. I also don't necessarily think that would be the deck that I'd want to play in this season. So yeah, red green Stompy with Frenzy is great. It's not a Stompy deck. That's it is stompy, but it's not stompy. That's experimental frenzy. Wayward frenzy is its own thing. When we talk about stompy, we're talking about turn 1 Land of War, turn 2 Stillleaf Champion, turn 3 Vine Mayors, another Stillleaf, things of that nature. So I mean, okay, I mean maybe it is a stompy, but I don't consider that a stompy deck. Just all the lands, all the day. So we are going to have to take a little bit of a beating here. Yeah, it's stompy-ish. It's stompish. Yeah, I'll give you that. Oh, my foot. Oh, come on, not. All right, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, that deck's pretty sweet. It did 5-0 a league, so I mean we might have to play that at some point. Right now we're kind of backed up on sweet decks to play between Deb's decks and some other nice tier decks that have popped up. I haven't even played this Golgari deck yet. I expect that Deb's going to be coming out with his version of Golgari here very soon, and we can play that. So. I'm just going to pass. Sweet. I didn't take out the other Joshu vest, so we are live to draw Joshu. I'm going to kill the Wild Growth Walker here. I expect that just gives him an opening to cast his Fine Broker. So, yeah. You haven't been able to beat this deck either. This deck's good, man. Ah, my foot is killing me. Damn, I hate being right. It happens. There we go. I mean, there you go. There's a Fine Broker getting back Wild Growth, playing the Wild Growth. So now I expect him to play more Explore creatures from his hand. So we have to Ritual of Soot this turn. We don't have a choice. We've got a Ritual of Soot. And then we get one more card. We'll get to see one more. This deck's really, really good, guys. This deck is really, really good. And it's mainly because of this card. This card's phenomenal. People slept on it the first week or two. The card's phenomenal. It creates just this like perfectly fair situation at the top of like the top of exactly what you want to be doing every turn. And even if that's just casting a Fine Broker to get back a Fine Broker, swing with a Fine Broker, just doing that type of thing over and over. The deck just getting card value from its own graveyard. So, and getting card value from your own graveyard means that you get to just kind of play through your deck and do crazy stuff like this. Watch him play the Seeker's. Gain, an extra +1/+1 count. Oh, never mind. It's better than a Seeker. He's got a Jadelight Ranger. So, yeah. We need Cast Down off the top. Assassin's Trophy will work. That gives us another turn. Alright, so we passed turn here. Yeah, Fine Broker is just amazing. Like, if he casts Fine Broker, gets back Fine Broker, casts Fine Broker, get back Wild Growth Walker. So Fine Broker, getting back a Fine Broker, and you can do this with Eldest Reborn and all this other. No, we do not stabilize at 1. No, I'm sorry, Kenneth. We live a turn at 1. We do not stabilize. This isn't stable. No, this isn't. We're still in critical condition. We're still in very critical condition. That's game. So even if we block with this, we still lose. So yeah. What's up, Jizza? How you doing, man? We were just playing a second game here with Kenneth's deck. We did get to go Golgari versus Golgari. We did win our first game, and then we jumped into another game. I should have just quit while we were ahead, right? But I didn't want to do that to you, Kenneth. The deck was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing it. I wanted to play with that Underrealm Lich and things like that. So thank you very much for submitting your deck, and thank you for purchasing a video. Hope you can show this video to all of your friends. You go, this is my deck. Watch the first game, not the second, right? So yeah, well, I had a lot of fun with that deck. That was a lot of fun. So, guys, I've still got a devs deck we're gonna do. So I'm gonna take a 30-minute break. Gotta get a couple things together. Then we're gonna be playing devs version of Angels, or not Angels, mid-range. Do I have it pulled up? I do not currently have it pulled up. I've got to go get the everything together. I do have the thumbnail made and such. So we're going to be playing Dev's Boros mid-range deck. After this, we're going to take about a 30-minute break. Let's say 20-minute break. I'll come back at about 20 minutes after 10 Central Time. Do I have any feedback for you? You see the deck we were just playing? Get those cards. You already have these lands? Get those cards. I'm sorry, man. Like, giving you the feedback on Golgari Zombies is just not... It's a cool deck. It's awesome. There's some really cool things going on here. The power level of of the Golgari Fine Broker, Eldest Reborn, things of that nature, the power level is just phenomenal. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of decks that can really hold up to those decks. I think that deck is 100% the Tier 1 deck in our meta right now, with its ability to gain life, things of that nature. Splash blue in it and play Arcane Adaptation for zombies, that's a bad deck. Don't do that. But if you want to play Golgari, my biggest piece of advice is play that Golgari deck. That is the Golgari deck to beat. The meta has definitely settled enough on that Golgari deck that we know that that is a great deck. People are racking their brains trying to find ways to defeat the deck. So it may not last, but I don't play adaptation. Don't do that unless you've got some sweet combo. All right. So as far as this deck goes, I think that cards like Rhizome Lurcher as a one-up, even though you've got like this great little toolbox engine, things like that, I think that you'd be better off with some copies of Ravenous Chupacabra in the deck somewhere. I know he's not a zombie. I know it. I know. But he kills things. He kills things. Ravenous Chupacabra will help you stay aggressive. You are an aggressive deck. I also don't 100% think you need cards like Stitcher Supplier, even though Stitcher Supplier would work really well with cards like Graveyard Marshal. I just don't necessarily think that Stitcher Supplier is just the greatest card in the world. However, when you get your Death Baron and things like that, you're really, really powerful, man. I mean, it's just really, really powerful. So maybe Stitcher Supplier is great. I think you're on the right track with just 2 Assassin's Trophies. I don't think you want more Assassin's Trophies than that. I just don't. You may want another copy of Fine Finale. That could definitely be a thing. I think Never Happened is a bad card. I don't think you want this card. I think for the power level, it's just not enough. Yeah, the Sultai Concoct deck was really sweet. So I would probably take out Never Happen. I would also look into some Varoskas. So if you have Vraska, whether it's the 2-mana Vraska, or sorry, the 4-mana Vraska or the 6-mana Vraska, I think that she belongs in this deck at least somewhere, giving you the ability to destroy things. Vraska is probably where you really want to be, man. You may also want to put an additional Assassin's Trophy in the sideboard. I think you can come off of cards like, Rhizome Lurcher. I think that's kind of fun. It does things, but I don't really think you need this card. I think that you could probably put a 4-mana Vraska there, and you'll get a lot more value out of that. So if you do want to stick into this zombie plan, Vraska is going to be sweet. I know you like the Lilianas, things like that. So drop the Lurcher. Pick up drop a Lurcher. Pick up. Like, if I was going to drop cards from this deck, the first 3 cards I would drop would be the Never Happened and the Lurcher, right? And Stitcher Supplier is not the most horrible thing when you have good value with it, like Graveyard Marshal and Death Baron. So maybe not getting rid of the maybe not getting rid of Stitcher Supplier. Maybe I spoke too hastily on that, but I definitely think Vraska fits in the deck. I think that you could probably fit in, a 6-mana Vraska in the sideboard, 4-mana Vraskas in the main board, maybe an extra 4-mana Vraska there. So with some control help, Vraska's not bad at control help. You do have some decent cards here for control with Vanquisher's Banner to allow you to continue drawing cards and things like that. So yeah, that's basically it, man. That's like the most advice I could give. I liked the Underrealm Lich. It seemed to be pretty sweet. Vraska would also give you the ability to sacrifice it. So if you were just seeing way too many cards, your graveyard's already completely stocked, you have everything you could possibly need there in the graveyard, and you want to just stop with the Underrealm Lich, you could use the 4-mana Vraska to sack it, and you wouldn't have to worry about that. You might want some more copies of Eldest Reborn in the deck, so maybe 1 6-mana Vraska, an additional Eldest Reborn, and a 4-mana Vraska. Like, I would start there and start testing around with that and see how you liked it. But I think that's the best I got for you, Kenneth. The deck is sweet. I love the tribal. I think that what you got going on is sweet. I just don't think that the power level of the tribal deck is going to be able to hold up to the other versions of Golgari, and that's sad because this is a really sweet deck. So thank you very much, though, Kenneth. I do appreciate it. All right, so that's what we got for this deck. We've got a sweet Devs deck coming up next. Let's see if I can find the thumbnail. Where's Devs deck? Devs Boros Midrange. So we've got Devs Boros Midrange coming up next. We're gonna take a 30-minute break. I'm gonna get a fresh cup of coffee, and we'll get the deck pulled up. We'll get the cards turned in. We'll get the new cards from ManaTraders, and we'll start playing some games with Devs Midrange. Now, if you want to check out Devs Deck Tech, meanwhile, while I'm gone, don't forget to just go over there, send him a like, put a comment. If you found Dev's channel from this channel, then let him know. Let him know that we're actually, sending some people his way. Let him know that we're not just playing his decks for the value of playing his decks. Because I love Dev's decks. I was originally a member of Dev's community before I ever started streaming, and I just love playing Dev's decks, and I've just always done it. So some people don't like that I play Dev's decks. Other people don't like when I don't play Dev's decks. So can't please everyone, so we're just going to keep playing them. So anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe. We'll be back in 30 minutes. See you soon.